Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today I am taking a look at the latest update for NeoFly, the Bush Pilot Career app. It's had a number of bugs that have been fixed and also a bunch of new features in the program. Before we get into it, a reminder to please go ahead and smash that like button down below. It's really fantastic for the YouTube algorithm. Also, why not consider subscribing? It costs nothing at all except just a little bit of self-respect. And let's be honest, who's not willing to give up some self-respect? We all do it on a Friday night after a few beers. Anyway, with that said, everybody, here I am in the updated program right here. And the first thing that I would say is that if you download the updated program, your career will start all over again. However, you are able to jump into the career text file, which is in the folders as part of the program. You can go ahead and just adjust the values. You can put your money back in there from your previous save. You can add your aircraft qualifications back in there. You can do whatever you like. So you can get yourself back up to where you were previously if you don't want to have to start all over again. So one thing I'm going to go through in this video is the check ride system. It used to be that you would have to just go ahead and buy your certification for the next aircraft, but now you actually have to complete a check ride. So this particular video will finish off by actually going through one of those check rides. Anyway, let's go through and just run through the different things that have been both fixed and updated with version 1.3 of NeoFly. Okay, the first fix is the airport recognition, which was a pretty well-known bug with the program, and I covered it in my last video. So let me bring the NeoFlight app across, and I have just completed the flight from Bathurst across to Parkes. This is exactly the same flight that I flew in my first video that I did, and as you can see, I'm sitting here in the parking area. You can see it behind there, and it has recognized the airport right there. So let me go ahead and put on my parking brake. There we go. We'll bring the app back up, and it is unboarding the passengers, so disembarking the passengers, and it's doing everything that it should be doing. So that particular bug has been fixed, which is fantastic. If you remember last time, I taxied all the way down here trying to get close to this mark here, but I'm in the normal parking area. It's worked perfectly, so they've gone ahead and updated that, so fantastic. And you can see up here in the log that my flight was successful, not crashed this time. So we got our pay and it was all good as gold. So it's great to have that fixed. Okay, some other bugs that have, or fixes that have been implemented. This parking brake set right here, you've now got a little button because some aircraft don't have a parking brake. So if you're flying an aircraft that doesn't have one, you just click on that and it will allow the mission to be completed. They've also gone ahead and updated some of the vertical speed values, which were slightly out, so those have been updated, and there's also a bunch of other sort of minor bug fixes that have been put in place in the background. Let's take a look at some of the updated features that are available with the app. So we'll start over on the search tab right here, and straight away you can see that you can actually go ahead and buy aircraft now. You right click on it and go buy. You can see the cost down on the right hand side. Some of these you're going to have to do a bit of flying to get the A320, for example. So you can go ahead and pick up and buy aircraft. The other thing that's fairly new is the hangar. So if I jump across here, you can now see which aircraft you own in the hangar. And once again, you right click on it, you can go ahead and repair the hull or the engine. That's another new feature. Both your hull, so you're basically the frame of the aircraft, as well as the engine, they will degrade over time. As you can see, this one's 97, this one's 79. They're both in the green at the moment, so it's fine. But let's say I wanted to go ahead and overhaul the engine. I'd go like that, and it would cost $2,100 to overhaul the engine. Let's say yes. Boom, we've done it. We click over that, it's now 100%. Now I could do the same for the hull, obviously. So all the aircraft that you currently own will be listed down in here. Now one thing to think about is the fact that you might have a repaint of a default Asobo aircraft, for example. I did here for the Cessna Skyhawk. This KSU is actually a repaint, so I had to go into my hangar text file in the folders that are amongst the NeoFly program, and I just had to add the KSU on the back of that. I just typed it and saved it, and it was easy as that. So you just might have to do that, otherwise it might not recognize your aircraft. So that's just something to think about when you go and buy an aircraft. Right, we're back in the search screen again, and there's a couple of changes here to improve the experience. One down the bottom here, you can see only mission destination. So if I went ahead and selected a mission, let's say we're going to go to YSCN. So I go like that. I go back to, oh no, actually I can just do it in this screen here. Down the bottom right hand corner, only mission destination. And you can see that it removes all those surrounding missions from the map. And that way you can easily see where you're going to head to with your particular mission. So that makes life just a little bit easier. You can also see on this page right here that you've got your hull and your engine and the current aircraft that you have. You can quickly see whether they're up to speed, and you want to make sure you keep those maintained as I mentioned before. The other thing on the front page right here is this Use Live Emergency checkbox. Now you can either have that checked or not checked, and what that will allow you to do is that you might come across some real life or real world events near your current location, and you can go ahead and create a mission based on that. So it's not something I've done. I'll have to go ahead and test it out. But if you find a live emergency, for example, near to you, you can create that mission, and away you go. You can fly it based on whatever's happening in that area. So that's kind of cool to add a little bit of randomness to what you do. The other thing the developer has talked about is the fact that realism is no longer mandatory, but you will get less XP if you don't stick to a realistic type approach. So that's just one thing to take into account. Also, once again, I haven't really looked in detail to see how that sort of works in the app, but generally, if you don't quite follow the realistic path, you're just going to get less XP. So that's just something to be aware of. You can also go ahead and sort all the missions up the top here by whatever you want to search them by. So whether it's by passengers, by distance, by pay, whatever you want to do, you've got a bit more flexibility to go ahead and sort all the missions that are available. So what I would do also is put a big shout out to NeoFly and the developer. Done a fantastic job. So if you do enjoy the app, just go ahead, and even if you've got a couple of dollars to spare, throw it their way. It's a free program. You don't have to donate, obviously, but the person's put in a lot of time themselves to put this together, and I think they've done a really cool job with the resources they have. So kudos to them. And if you do have a few spare pennies or dollars hanging around, how about throw some their way? All right, check ride time, everybody. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select the DA62 Asobo. What you will have to do by the looks of it is you actually need to afford to buy the aircraft first before you can go ahead and take the check ride. So I've done a bit of a cheat here, updated my money, and just for the sake of the video, and so I have now earned a DA62 Asobo. So in the pilot log, what you'll need to do is press multi-engine piston, and I go press pass, and it says must be completed with multi-engine pistons right there. So I select the right aircraft, and I'm in the background there. You can see that I'm in the DA62. So we'll go ahead and press complete and connect and fly. And let's go ahead and get the aircraft set up and see how this thing goes. Hopefully it goes well, because like I said, I've not done it before. It could be a bit ugly. Okay, just to add to the complication, I'm flying an aircraft that I have never flown before, so this could be really interesting. So I'm just going to start off by just saying Control E. Let's start everything up automatically. That way I don't have to worry about trying to figure that out. And let's see what the program tells us to do. Okay, one thing actually to be aware of, and I had forgotten to mention this earlier, is that you actually have to manually load your payload. So as you can see here, I need to add 190 pounds. So I'll go up the top here and do that right now. And so we go to weight, and it's on pounds. And so I just need to go ahead and say, let's put it in the center and say 190.
Transporter to dispatch. Welcome to your qualification mission.
And there you go. You can hear them talking to us. So by the way, you can see that everything's in the green now, and so we should be pretty good to go.
Transporter, you must complete this mission to be allowed to use this category of aircraft in our company. Transporter form dispatch. To complete the qualification, take care of your fly and landing.
Okay, great. All right, so as you can see here, everybody, I've had a quick look down the bottom here, and it says to qualify, I need to fly from YPKS to YQDI. It's 151 nautical miles, so it's a decent flight I've got to complete right here. And if you see on the map right here, I've got to complete that flight. So I assume it's pretty much straightforward as that, is loading your plane correctly and then going ahead and completing the flight. So what I'll do is, to save you the pain, I'll go and fly the flight, and then once I sort of come into land and turn off the aircraft, we'll figure out what it has to say about my flying ability. So we'll catch you very, very soon. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. As simple as that. I can confirm that really it was a case of flying just from one airport to the other. I had a couple of messages from the instructor along the way, or the assessor. The first one was to make sure that I focus. That was when I took off. So I was kind of half expecting that they might throw something like a bit of a curveball in there. But no, it was smooth cruising from my destination right across to from my departure across to my destination. And so, yeah, so that's how you do a check ride. It's pretty straightforward. You just got to make sure you complete the flight successfully, land at the right airport, and you get your rating. So now I'm rated in multi-engine aircraft. Obviously, I cheated there because I upped my money and bought the aircraft, but obviously, normally you would have to, complete enough flights to enable you to afford an aircraft. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Right over here, you can sort of see a bit of a summary of my check ride. It talks about vertical speed, which is a little bit high for this type of aircraft, I reckon. I got a comfort bonus and a landing bonus, and of course I got my B qualification, so I'm now rated a multi-engine aircraft. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There goes an overview of the different bug fixes and feature changes or enhancements or feature additions, I should say, that have been added to NeoFly, the bush pilot add-in. Still a heck of a lot of fun, so hopefully that gave you a good overview. So just remember, everybody, if you did enjoy the video, smash the like button down below, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, everybody, take it easy.